Hello everyone, welcome to iExam. Students, as you all aware, कि SEBI Grade A results are out and बहुत सारे aspirants का इस recruitment में सपना पूरा हुआ है और बहुत सारे लोगों के dreams नहीं पूरे हुए हैं due to various reasons. हमारे मन में हमेशा से बहुत बड़ा सवाल होता है कि मैं नॉन कॉमर्स बैकग्राउंड से हूँ तो किस तरीके से सेबी रिक्रूटमेंट को मैं क्लियर कर सकता हूँ। तो आज सारे सवालों के जवाब देने के लिए हमारे साथ मिस श्रीनिधि हैं जिन्होंने अभी सेबी ग्रेड ए के एग्जाम को सक्सेसफुली क्लियर कर लिया है। वेलकम श्रीनिधि, वेलकम टू आई एग्जाम बी एंड I congratulate you from whole iExam team for this success, and I wish that you will do great in your future endeavors. Right.
Thank you so much, sir.
Yeah. Before starting, I just want to I want to know that what is your educational background basically, and when did you thought of preparing for this particular exam?
Yes, so I have done my BTech in 2018. I have completed my BTech in 2018 from electronics and communication background. And after that, I started working for Tata Consultancy Services. I have been working there for now even. And so last year, actually during the COVID, I thought that I should do something else. Like I should try my hands on something else. So that's when I stumbled upon the regulatory bodies exam. And SEBI was my first exam, as a matter of fact. Which was SEBI 2020. That happened in 2021. So that was for my first exam, and then I appeared for NABARD, and then this is my second attempt at SEBI.
Okay, this is your second attempt. So when did you thought of preparing government exam? Like you're working in TCS, weren't you happy at that time? Like TCS is fine.
I was fine, I was happy, but I thought that I think I could do more. The contribution is very less. Everybody works at some of the other IT companies. Maximum engineers nowadays are working in some of the other IT companies.
Okay.
So when the amount of prestige, the amount of respect, and the amount of responsibility that comes with the position, RBI and SEBI, they are regulatory bodies. They're making out policies out there, and it's directly affecting the economy. So I wanted to be a part of something like that.
Right. Since you are from non-commerce background, तो कभी ये चीज mind में नहीं आई आपके how you will do all these 6 subject commerce, accountancy, finance, क्योंकि सुनने में तो हमें बहुत बड़े लगते हैं और जब हम commerce background से होते ही नहीं है, then it is a trouble for everyone. So कैसे deal किया इनके साथ?
So I think it's very important to keep it in mind that I'm an engineer and the syllabus is tailor-made for finance and commerce background. It's very important to keep it in mind, but at the same time, it's very important to not let it poke my mind all the time that you are an engineer and you won't be able to do this. Because if SEBI thinks I'm eligible for appearing in the exam, why should I think otherwise? Right. So that attitude should be there. And I think the syllabus is different, so I might have to work a little bit harder compared to other students, but it's doable. It's not impossible, because if SEBI thinks it's doable, it is doable.
Right. So we'll start from the beginning. Let's come to the phase 1. Right, it has 2 papers, like paper 1 and paper 2. 90% of the students struggle with the paper 1, since they know this fact that they have to achieve only 30% or 40% in that particular examination, since they were and then also they are not able to clear that paper. So what is your strategy for phase 1 specifically, considering the fact that you have to score only 40% aggregate over there?
Yes, I think first thing what we have to do is we have to appear for a mock test and analyze what are the weak subjects, what are the weak points. I knew I had strength in English, I knew I had strength in reasoning, and I was very weak at general awareness when I started preparing for the exams. Then when I got into preparation, I thought the general awareness I have to read every day. So that is a continuous process. You can't do it in 2 days or 3 days. But if you do general awareness, you can be sure that you can score 10 to 15 marks there. Because it's either you know it or don't know it. And it takes very less time to score general awareness. Right. So that strategy, I think we have to build it during the mock test. After general awareness, I'll attempt English, because English is my strength. So that way you can score. And again, reasoning and maths, whatever comes difficult, like whatever comes easier, we have to attempt first, and then that is something which we have to decide in the examination itself. And it's very important that we allot fixed time for all the 4 subjects, because we don't know which one is going to come easy. So it's important to traverse through the whole question paper. I think that would make us attempt the cutoff.
So how much time do you really spend like while preparing for SEBI Grade A? Specifically, if I talk about like paper, how much time? Because people usually waste a lot of time on paper, which is not at all required, right? On QRE and English. So how's your approach?
I think if you're good with the formulas, like for example quants, if you're good with the formulas, you have to practice questions. Take up any marathon videos from YouTube. There are many marathon videos of quants, there are many marathon videos of reasoning.
Right.
So you have to practice them like every other day. It's important to be in the practice. The more you're in the practice, the more familiar the questions will seem, the more familiar you'll find the environment in the exam. So I think appear for mocks and practice as many questions that you can. If you're fine with the basics, basics are very important. So I knew my basics were clear, my formulas were clear. What I have to do is I have to practice questions, take up any video from the YouTube, and just keep on doing the marathon questions and all.
Okay. And considering if you talk about like paper 2, उसमें तो syllabus same ही है अगर phase 1 में भी बात करें.
Yes.
तो subject भी same है, syllabus भी overall same है. तो like how did you really prepare? Like I want to know this in detail because अगर कोई आपकी success story सुन रहा है, inspire हो रहा है for like to start preparing for all these subjects from scratch, तो उसको क्या advice करें?
I think the question paper is very unpredictable in terms that which subject is going to come difficult and which subject is going to come easier. Because we often think that management is going to be very easy. That was my attitude in the first time also, that management is going to be very easy. Even if I prepare a little bit, I can take out the questions. But turns out that management gets a little confusing once you try to attempt the question. So I think it's very important that you give equal importance to all the subjects, because एग्जामिनेशन में ऐसा हो सकता है कि कॉमर्स एंड अकाउंटेंसी बहुत टफ आ गई, या फिर वो मैंने प्रिपेयर करके गई थी वो बहुत टफ आ गया, और जो मैं शायद थोड़ा और प्रिपेयर कर लेती तो इतना इजी पेपर था कि मैं कर लेती. So this thing is very important, that I think we should give equal importance to all the subjects, even if it is phase 1. It's not that I'm going to study only 4 subjects. It's okay that one subject मैं थोड़ा कम पढ़ के जाती हूँ क्योंकि मेरे पास टाइम नहीं है, because as a working employee there is a time constraint. So मेरे पास ये था कि company laws I couldn't remember everything in company laws. So I had to selectively study company laws. So that was my personal choice because of my time constraint. But it's necessary to prepare all the subjects well, and for phase 2 take it a level up, a notch up, practice more numerical questions for level 2.
Right.
So that strategy is important.
Okay. So what were the important learnings जब आप 2021 में जब भी आपने फर्स्ट अटेम्प्ट दिया SEBI का, तब आप क्लियर नहीं कर पाए तो because you learned a lot, right? Failure teaches you more and success more story to be on this track, right? So what were the important learnings उस टाइम के फर्स्ट अटेम्प्ट से?
I think paper first attempt से इस बार का जो पेपर था, it was very difficult compared to the previous year. And in previous year, what I thought is the level paper, the phase 1 was very easy. I thought phase 1 was very easy compared to like it was very easy to clear phase 1. Phase 2, I couldn't clear. When I analyzed the paper later on, I thought that I was getting scared of numerical questions. Like whenever I had seen a numerical questions, I skipped it. So even in phase 2, especially, even each and every mark is important. We have to snatch each and every mark. And one more thing, what I faced is, what I realized I did wrong in phase 2 was I didn't read the management questions very well. The options were very confusing, and it was 50-50 chance of elimination, and I always picked out the wrong one. So the management questions are very tricky. We have to read the question very well in the examination. So that is what I thought, that I have to take my preparation a little bit of higher level. I have to practice more numerical questions, more in-depth questions, more. I have to get familiar with the balance sheet type of questions. It's not that I shouldn't get scared of the questions, numerical balance sheet. So that gap of preparation I managed in this time. I prepared as if I am a commerce student and I am a chartered accountant student. I shouldn't get scared of these questions.
Do you really think the role of mentors really play a role in achieving your success? क्योंकि जैसे तो अगर जैसे बहुत सारे स्टूडेंट होते हैं कि खुद से कर लेंगे क्योंकि नॉन कॉमर्स बैकग्राउंड का एग्जाम का पता नहीं है, तो कैसे मेंटर ने आपकी हेल्प करी जिससे भी आपने मेंटरिंग ली?
So mentors direct भी होते हैं, indirect भी होते हैं. We often
Right.
go through YouTube. We have the blessing of internet, so we go through YouTube a lot. We see different videos and different things, and कहीं ना कहीं बहुत सारे suggestions and advices मिलते रहते हैं. But it's also very important to freeze the sources of mentors, because ऐसा भी होता है कि बहुत सारे mentors होंगे और बहुत कुछ guide कर देंगे, then it becomes difficult to filter out everything.
Yeah.
So because one thing that I face is interview देने जाने से पहले भी, when I appeared for the mock test of our exam भी, and my interview didn't go well. My mock interview didn't go well because I got very nervous, and there was a 15-minute session of feedback solely what I should do and what I shouldn't do. And to be honest, that helped me score very good marks in interview. I got 14 in interview, and it was like a very good jump. I was very nervous in the mock. So that kind of feedback is important, but you also have to be very selective about that source of mentor, not multiple sources.
Right. So it's you have to choose that no mentor or multiple mentors. It's individual choice, right?
Yes.
Okay. So when it comes to descriptive English, right? So how did you go about it? Like, because many people face like a lot of difficulties in this, right? So what was your strategy?
I started writing. We often think that we are very good at English and we are very good at grammar, but when it comes to writing without word, like Microsoft Word, when without not getting pointed any mistakes and all, it becomes very, very difficult. What I faced is I used to iterate the sentences in my mind, but when I'm writing it or typing it, I used to skip words. So that was a problem I faced, and that you can analyze only by practicing a few times before the descriptive exams. So I used to write it in plain notepad and paste it on Grammarly and check what are the mistakes I'm facing. And in that way, 2-3 times I have written, and that becomes a good habit. Okay. And it's very important to practice with bad keyboard.
Right. Exactly. So I totally agree with you on this particular point specifically. So, okay, phase 1 is over, phase 2 is over. Like if we talk about interview, because many aspirants would like to listen to your interview experience as well. How was the panel members and how they are like shooting questions on you?
I think there are different experiences with different people regarding the panelists. But for me, the panelist was very good. I felt the panelists were very friendly. They were very cordial. And if I coming to my interview experience, since I come from an IT background, so first few minutes of my interview was them pressurizing me to come to IT. So they were very keen about my background, about the work I do in my current job, because I myself work for a finance project. So they were very keen about the languages that I know to write codes on. They were very interested about everything. And then they came to what part of finance does it interest you? Which part of finance do you like? When I said secondary markets, then my questions were more focused on that how would you amalgamate the finance and technology together? What solution would you provide to SEBI? How would your technical knowledge will help SEBI in predicting frauds and stuff.
Right.
So the interview questions were that, and there was also case study based question. One of the panelists had given me a case study like there is a scroll in TV that some company is displaying news. Now, how will you use that news to predict something or make a model that this can bring the shares up and down? This can create a chance of fraud. So there I had to tell about artificial intelligence, how I would use neural networks or machine learning, providing the solution. So it was very specific to my profile. By technical, I mean it was very specific to IT, little bit. Yeah, and then again, it was a mixture. Like they asked me about co-location scam. They asked me how that happens and why, even if they are paying taxes, even if Chitra Ramakrishna is paying taxes, why is she wrong? So there, an ethical point of view comes. So it was very mixture of questions, I would say. But the interview panelists were very friendly. It was like a conversation.
Okay. So after giving interview, like how was your feeling? Are you scared or are you nervous?
No, I came out of the interview room smiling. That was my experience. Okay, it was a good experience.
That's great. Now you got like finally selected and you are joining SEBI like from 1st of August, right? So how is the feeling now? Like,
it is great because there were times when I doubted myself also. So It's very important to surround yourself with positive people during the preparation time. So I used to talk to someone who used to give me very much positivity that you will do it. It's nothing. You are an engineer. It doesn't matter. Like it's
Right.
nothing. It's very important to not keep that in mind that you are an engineer and you're giving something like that. It's very important to keep that out, that you are something, you are a competitor, you are an aspirant, and you're preparing for exam which requires so and so knowledge.
Because many people feel scared like sometimes, because if we talk about vacancies are always less and applications are always high. So बहुत सारे लोगों के लिए ये डिस्करेजमेंट भी हो जाता है कि यार 80 वैकेंसीज हैं, कैसे ही हो पाएगा, राइट? तो उनके लिए मतलब आप क्या कहना चाहोगे कि everyone should...
मैं ये कहना चाहूंगी कि मैं भी डरती थी, मैं एग्जाम के पहले दिन भी डरती थी, रोई थी, मतलब बहुत टेंशन हो रहा था. एंड इवन लास्ट मॉक आल्सो आई थिंक इवन फेज 2 का लास्ट मॉक भी मेरा अच्छा नहीं गया था. सो इट हैपेंस, बट इट्स इम्पोर्टेंट दैट यू फिनिश द रेस. वंस यू फिनिश द रेस यू विल नो दैट यू डिड इट, because it happens. मॉक में डरना जरूरी है, मॉक में गलती करना भी जरूरी है, तभी सीख सकते हैं. इट्स वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट दैट यू प्रिपेयर वेल फ्रॉम द मॉक.
राइट. एंड ये भी एक बात है, जैसे आप TCS में काम कर रहे थे, राइट? यू यूज्ड टू वर्क इन TCS, राइट? सो साथ साथ प्रिपरेशन करना फॉर सेबी. सो कितना टाइम आप लाइक ऑन डेली बेसिस डिवोट कर रहे थे? बिकॉज कंसिस्टेंसी बहुत जरूरी है ऐसे एग्जाम्स में, राइट? तो कितना आवर्स आप डेली...
सर आप जो बताया कि कंसिस्टेंसी, दैट इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट वर्ड आई थिंक, बिकॉज अगर आप ऐसा भी होता है कि द वर्किंग आवर्स एज यू नो इन IT गेट्स एक्सटेंडेड टू समटाइम्स 12 आवर्स आल्सो. देयर आर नो फिक्स्ड वर्किंग आवर्स एज सच, and it's very stressful considering the screen time. So it's very important that you study at least 1 hour. कि मैंने पढ़ा आज, कि I did it, I am in touch with my subject, and it is very important to isolate the two, because पहले ऐसा होता था कि मैं पढ़ने बैठ रही हूँ, मुझे काम का प्रेशर दिमाग में आ रहा है बार-बार, that used to slow me down. So ये बहुत important है कि एक स्विच मेंटेन करना जरूरी है कि काम के और पढ़ाई के बीच में आप 10 मिनट 15 मिनट या तो वर्कआउट करो, मेडिटेट करो, कुछ करो, एक ब्रेक ले लो कि ये मेरा हो गया काम, अब मैं सिर्फ पढ़ाई करूंगी. एंड टाइम टेबल इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट कि इस टाइम में मुझे यही करना है और मैं कुछ नहीं करूंगी. वीकेंड्स आर बून, वीकेंड यू हैव टू यूटिलाइज, यू हैव टू मेक सैक्रिफाइसेस कि ठीक है कब थोड़ा कम बाहर जाएंगे, ऐसा नहीं कि एकदम ही बाहर नहीं जाना है, बट थोड़ा कम करेंगे. तो वीकेंड बहुत यूटिलाइज करना है. और वीक डेज में आपका हिसाब से अगर आप सुबह उठ सकते हैं तो सुबह पढ़ना है, थोड़ा जब काम का प्रेशर मतलब इफेक्ट नहीं करेगा आपको. सुबह यूजुअली टाइम रहता है कि वर्किंग आवर्स 10 बजे से शुरू होता है, और अगर आप लेट नाइट पढ़ते हो तो लेट नाइट भी जरूरी है. मुझे लेट नाइट थोड़ा टायरिंग लगता था क्योंकि स्क्रीन टाइम बहुत रहता था. आई यूज्ड टू स्टडी इन द मॉर्निंग.
राइट. और ये भी एक बहुत श्रीनिधि, ये आपने देखा होगा कि पीपल यूज्ड टू लाइक मतलब वेट करते हैं नोटिफिकेशन आएगा तो तैयारी करेंगे. और सेबी जैसे रेगुलेटरी बॉडीज के 1 साल में नहीं तो 2 साल में नोटिफिकेशन तो आएगा ही आएगा. And do you really think people should wait for the notification, considering the fact that vacancy is very less, right?
Sir, I mean, ये एकदम सही बात है कि नोटिफिकेशन का वेट नहीं करना चाहिए, बट इट्स समथिंग लाइक नोटिफिकेशन थोड़ा पुश देता है कि हाँ आप तो प्रिपेयर करेंगे, अब फटाफट करना चाहिए. बट इट्स वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. व्हाट आई डिड इज बिफोर नोटिफिकेशन आई एनालाइज्ड माय वीकनेसेस वेरी वेल. आई फ्रीज्ड माय सोर्सेस कि मुझे यहाँ से पढ़ना है, मैं इसमें और टाइम नहीं गवाऊंगी नोटिफिकेशन आने के बाद, कि मेरे को सोर्सेस खोजना है या फिर कहाँ से पढ़ना है, क्या मेरे वीक पॉइंट्स है, व्हाट सब्जेक्ट्स आई हैव टू प्रिपेयर, हाउ टू प्रिपेयर. दिस प्लानिंग इज नेसेसरी कि आप नोटिफिकेशन आने से पहले पूरा प्रिपेयर करके रखो, कि जैसे ही अगर आपका ऐसा एटीट्यूड है कि आप नोटिफिकेशन बाद ही करना चाहते हो, तो you have to be, this thing should be prepared from first, and you have to start the preparation as soon as the notification comes. Else it's very good to be in touch with the subjects. जैसे economics and stuff like economics and finance, you have to be in touch throughout the year. This is a continuous process.
Right. And students are asking, sir, please ask her marks in phase 2. Students are interested in knowing your marks. You would like to share with me?
Phase 2 में मेरा aggregate was 67.
67.
Yes.
Okay. So Rishabh, Srinidhi के marks 67 थे aggregate, if you want to know this fact. And okay Srinidhi, that's a great insight. You shared all in and out strategy with us, right? How should an aspirant like proceed for such kind of recruitment, specifically if we talk about regulatory bodies. So any last piece of advice for like students you want to share, like how बिकॉज आपका तो ड्रीम पूरा हो गया। अब नाउ आपकी सक्सेस स्टोरी से स्टूडेंट्स लाइक इंस्पायर हो सकते हैं और कुछ सीख सकते हैं कि किस तरीके से अगर एक लेमैन जो नॉन कॉमर्स बैकग्राउंड को तैयारी करनी है, तो लास्ट पीस ऑफ एडवाइस क्या रहेगी?
आई थिंक बेसिक्स क्लियर करना बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है, चाहे कहीं से भी करो। मैंने एनसीईआरटी को अपना बेस रखा था। इट्स वेरी कॉन्साइज एंड वेरी सिंपल इन सिंपल लैंग्वेज। तो जो लोग नॉन कॉमर्स बैकग्राउंड से स्पेशली आई वुड से कि बेसिक्स एक बार आप समझ जाओ, उसके बाद the more you practice, the more MCQs you solve, the more mocks you give, your confidence will increase. And और एक बात ये है कि क्वेश्चन जब करोगे तो ऑप्शंस भी अच्छे से पढ़ के रखो। ऑप्शंस भी you have to backtrace the question and read everything surrounding it. ऐसे ही आपका 70% सिलेबस कवर हो जाता है। एंड डरना नहीं बिल्कुल भी, क्योंकि इट इज डूएबल, इट इज वेरी मच डूएबल। बस कंसिस्टेंसी रखना है एंड कॉन्फिडेंस।
राइट। सो एस्पिरेंट्स, जैसा कि आपने सुना कि कंसिस्टेंसी विल प्ले अ लाइक वेरी बिग रोल इन योर प्रिपरेशन एंड डोंट वेट फॉर द नोटिफिकेशन। मैं अपने बहुत सारे वीडियोस में बोलता हूँ कि इफ यू वांट टू गो फॉर सेबी, प्लीज डोंट वेट फॉर द नोटिफिकेशन बिकॉज कंपटीशन इज रियली हाई। एंड जैसा आपने बोला कि अपने रिसोर्सेज तो एटलीस्ट आप इकट्ठा करके रख लो, जब नोटिफिकेशन आएगा देन यू कैन रिवाइज एंड देन यू कैन प्ले अराउंड विद द मॉक टेस्ट एंड ऑल दैट स्टफ। सो आई होप एवरीवन, आपने सभी ने कुछ ना कुछ सीखा होगा श्रीनिधि की एक्सपीरियंस से। एंड आई पर्सनली वांट टू कांग्रेचुलेट यू फ्रॉम द होल आई एग्जाम टीम कि आपका जो सपना है ये सेबी का जो आपने 2 साल से देखा है वो पूरा हो गया फाइनली। तो अभी और कहीं जाने की तैयारी है या ये फाइनल है?
फिलहाल ये फाइनल है।
क्योंकि ये भी बहुत इम्पोर्टेंट एस्पेक्ट्स है ना कि इसके बाद भी और कुछ, तो वो क्या है? अगर आपके माइंड में कुछ है तो इफ यू वांट टू शेयर दैट प्लीज।
फिलहाल तो अभी यही है, अब देखते हैं कैसे, मतलब चेंज होता रहता है माइंड, तो फिलहाल ये है।
ओके ओके, थैंक यू सो मच Srinidhi for joining iExamB and sharing your experience. I hope कि आपको स्टूडेंट्स सुनेंगे और कुछ सीखेंगे इस पर्टिकुलर हमारी इंटरव्यू से।
थैंक यू सर, थैंक यू वेरी मच।
Thank you so much for joining. Thank you so much.